I had just woken up and a couple of my friends actually messaged me.
I thought it was fake at first.
Zero skills are transferable to any other event.
It's going to be completely removed from the WCA.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say out examples.
The WCA Executive Board just announced that the face-turning octahedron, FTO, is officially becoming an event in January 2027. But it came with a heartbreaking, massive catch. The Rubik's Clock is going to be completely removed from the WCA after next year's World Championship. So to break down what this means for the community, I'm joined today by two experienced clock solvers. First up, we have Jovan Lee, who is better known for his Pyramid's dominance, being the Pyramid's single national record holder right here in Singapore. However, while it is lesser known, he is in fact one of Singapore's top clock solvers as well, and is actually on a hot streak for clock, winning the last two local competitions. So yeah, welcome Jovan.
Hi, I'm Jovan. Thanks, Kaylan, for inviting me.
Yeah,
This podcast.
no worries. And we also have Yitian, also known as Evan, who is known for his premium skill as well. But he also sits comfortably in the top 100 in the world for clock single, and is one of the top clock solvers in Singapore. So yeah, great to have you here as well, Yitian.
Hi everyone, I'm Yitian. I have a 2.53 official single and a 3.53 official average. The single is 83rd in the world and the average is 121st in the world.
Oh yeah, can I add in? Because since you're talking about clock, I am ranked top 200 in the world. So like, I guess that's decent. I have a
That's pretty good.
2.73 single and a 3.79 average. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So now that we've heard from Yitian and Jovan, let's jump right into it. So when the WCA notification popped on your phone and you first read the words "clock is being removed," what was like your literal, unfiltered first reaction? Yeah, maybe we'll start with Jovan.
Okay, so like 2 days ago when I saw the notification, okay, I saw a message in the in this group chat where like you have a lot of like pro clockers lah. So I thought it was fake at first. But like when I click onto the link to the forum, no, not forum post, like to the post, right? I was like shocked. Like they actually remove clock. Like I've never thought of like WCA doing this because like clock have a lot of, I thought it was like settled last time. Because last time everyone said that clock should be removed or like whatever. And I thought like after that that completely stopped. It's like it was like maybe around 5 years ago when the clock hardware was like really bad and there wasn't like any really like good methods and everyone I guess got bored of it and
Yeah.
like and DNF was like a very common thing in clock, so it might piss off some people. And it was also hard to organize last time since you're not able to push up the pins or like move the pins during the solve. I mean during inspection.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way they can do this. But I also thought it was valid because like a few weeks ago they made the Google form and like I figured like a lot of people would have choose clock because they just don't like clock. Clock is like vastly different from the 3D puzzles, but I still see it as like a puzzle that should stay in the WCA still.
Yeah, so you're just like very surprised, like really shocked. How can they do this?
I was very surprised.
Yeah. You talk about hardware. We'll talk a little bit about it like afterwards. Yeah, but we'll hear from Yitian first. What was your
Okay,
first?
so like I had a very similar reaction to Jovan. So for me, I had just woken up and a couple of my friends actually messaged me saying that clock will be removed. And like at first I didn't believe it because all this while we were joking about like the removal of clock and never actually happened. So like I didn't believe it. But then when I clicked onto the website, I actually saw there was like a whole announcement about it, and there was even like a petition form for clock to be removed. So yeah, when I saw that, I was actually pretty angry because clock is one of the few events where there's where zero skills are transferable to any other events. So like I felt that I wasted my time practicing and spending money on the clocks. So like yeah.
Yeah, like one
Can I add something? Because Yitian said like he felt that he wasted his time. And clock is like, if you want to get good at clock, you have to grind a lot. And like
Yeah.
when it gets removed, like you'll feel that like all the times you grind or practice is wasted.
Mm.
So like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like clock is just very unique, you know. Like the grinding that you do, it doesn't really transfer to other events. So I understand like how you guys can, you know, feel really angry that this effort
Yeah.
is kind of wasted because it is only that the effort that you put in is really only for clock. Like it's not transferable to other events. Yeah. So actually, Jovan, you talk about how clock used to be, you know, used to be like really hard to do, like the pins and all, and it's not very popular. But clock has actually been like on the rise. Like it's been booming actually, and
yes,
hardware from like TE and MoU have made the puzzle a lot easier to turn. Methods like
yeah,
7 Simo have changed the meta, and the top 100 rankings in the world have changed drastically, with Cloud having significant improvement in its rankings in the past 2 years. So, this one's for Jovan. Why do you think the WCA chose this exact moment to kill it when Cloud was actually on the rise? Yeah, what do you think?
this is a very hard question, but okay, like I don't really know, but in my opinion, I think it was mainly because of like miscrambled incidents and like the most popular one is the world championship podium being affected.
Mm, yeah.
And and to me, I still think that it was quite unfair. And I thought they will like change the regs a bit, like tweak it so like even small miscrambles can count, because like small miscrambles also do not affect the competitor a lot and like the solve a lot basically. And I think like in my opinion, for the world championship scramble incident, right? I thought they handled it like a bit poorly,
Mm,
because this could all be easily avoided if Anthony checked scrambles, or like after the average did a provisional extra. Like that could have all be easily avoided. But like someone didn't allow him to check scrambles or something. So
mm,
I think, I mean like I actually don't know why they waited until now to remove it. I thought like maybe it's because they want to add FTO.
mm.
So like I don't really have a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. That is because of, you know, the growth of FTO. Then, you know, like pressured to remove another event so they can let FTO, you know, enter the WCA. And also cause it's really hard to like have so many events in WCA. Maybe they, if they want to add FTO, they wanna remove one at the same time. So maybe WCA had that pressure. Yeah, you actually talked about the World's 2025 incident for Cloud, and we'll touch a little bit on that later. But I think I just want to hear from Yitian first. What do you think about the timing in which WCA officially decided to remove Cloud from the WCA?
I think the timing is pretty bad, but like I can kind of understand why. But like for me, I feel like if they really wanted to remove it, right, they could have removed it in 2020 along with feed, because nobody would have batted an eye if they did in 2020. Because clock was unpopular and nobody did it, and like top W100 is like 6.9 average, so like it was kind of bad then.
Mm,
But I can understand why they chose to remove it now, especially if they were planning to remove it, because if they remove it, like because clock is an event where it gets popular day by day. So it'll be harder to remove it in the future when more and more people have competed in the event. So I guess if they wanted to remove it, they will have to do it now. If not, it'll be like too late. So like yeah.
yeah, I think you have a good point now that WCA was, you know, in that sense a bit indecisive. Like you said, they could have done it, you know, 6 years ago in 2020, but you
Yeah.
know, they waited until now and they knew that they just had to take action. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So next question I want to ask you, Etienne, do you think that if clock was removed back in 2020, it could have been like fully justified?
Yeah, pretty sure it could be fully justified.
Mm,
Well, not fully justified. I still think it's wrong because there are still people who did clock back
mm,
then. But I
yeah.
feel like the community response, it wouldn't be like mostly negative. I feel like it will be you will have a decent argument because you can still argue about like the the like difficulty to organize the cube covers, the easy um like it's not very easy to judge. But now they added the racks such that they fix all those problems. So now I think removing it now after having done all of that, then yeah, it's kind of unjustifiable. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like it's kind of contradictory also that they put in so much effort into improving the racks, making it easier to compete, only to take it away. So,
Yeah.
mm, yeah. Okay, now we shall look at the official justification given by the WCA board, because a lot of the people in the community feel that the arguments don't really add up. So yeah, on the screen right here, I'm just gonna show the various statistics in the executive summary that the WCA provided. So first, the board claimed that clock actually lacks spectator appeal. So Jovan, as someone who has competed in like many clock finals in Singapore and knows what peak competitive clock solving looks like, would you say that that's actually a fair critique? And is clock genuinely less exciting for a crowd than something like FMC or Five Line, or do you think that's just a convenient excuse?
To me, I don't think the reasoning is valid because clock is somewhat a spectator friendly event, and because if you see from the World Championship stream, there are like hit cams, and it's actually quite entertaining to watch. And I mean, you can also say that other events like multi-blind, big blinds, and big cubes are
Mm,
not that spectator friendly because like most of the time the cube will be under the table and you wouldn't be able to see what's going on unless you have a head cam. And I mean, for me, I actually like spectating clock. Like it's sometimes quite exciting.
mm,
And I mean, oh wait,
yeah, I mean, like what I mentioned, like clock is a lot more, I mean, your opinion, like a lot more interesting than watching like big blind or those kind of events, because
yeah,
the queue is constantly under the table or not very spectator friendly, and it's very long as well. Yeah, you mentioned about big blinds. We'll talk about that later, specifically five blind. Um, yeah, but I think right now we just shifted to shift focus to brand identity, which is the second point that the WCA made. So WCA explicitly said that they want to focus on three-dimensional geometrical twist puzzles. So Yitian, do you feel that WCA is trying to retcon their own history here and ignore over 2 decades of cloud being a staple event? Because it's a very interesting definition, and they suddenly bring this up: three-dimensional geometrical twist puzzles. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree they're trying to retcon um they're trying to retcon it because like the in announcement it states that removing clock strengthens the identity as being an organization.
Mm,
And this statement to me doesn't really make any sense because they are talking about identity whilst they are also removing a part of it. So like for me, I think that kind of contradicts itself.
mm,
But like, I guess you can sort of agree when you say being an organization for three-dimensional puzzles because clock is kind of two-dimensional. So like I guess you can agree with that. And many years ago, they removed magic, which is the same thing as clock because it's repetitive and it doesn't require alks and it got removed. So like I guess that's why they also wanted to remove clock. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. WC also talked about how clock is like kind of mechanical um, as compared to the other twisty puzzles. Like it's not really, uh, even though it's been here for so long, but like what you said, it's kind of different. It's kind of two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we gotta talk about internal drama as well. Uh, on your screen right here, we can see the response to the question: should the WC remove any existing events or reduce their status? And for the WC community, it's actually five line, which Jovan mentioned earlier, that leads the survey with 1,156 unique responses compared to Clock, which had 1,059 unique responses. So Five Line was actually ahead of Clock. Uh, yeah. So another reason that WCA used to justify the removal of Clock over the other two is that it was identified as being dissimilar to the other twisty puzzle events, which we talked about earlier. Uh, compared to like 5-blind and 7x7, which had a lower degree of uniqueness. So, Jovan, what do you think about this? Do you find that both 5-blind and 7x7 could be an option for removal instead of clock? Or do you guys find that, or do you find that removing 5-blind and 7x7 can be ruled out as events to remove instead of clock? Yeah. Do you think 5-blind and 7 could have been options instead of clock? Yeah.
Clearly, I also think that 5-blind and 7x7 are like options. And if you see from these three events, right, like 5-blind and 7x7 takes more time, but the clock take lesser time, like in competitions
Yeah.
to finish a round or solve. And like I think the reason why clock is there is like, I mean, is to make up, or it's to make up because it has like a lot of incidents hard to organize and very easy to DNF. So
Mm.
I mean, if you just remove 5-blind, right, like people can just like go to 4-blind, and I think that like people that are generally good at 5-blind are also good at 4-blind, so they have nothing to lose. But like, and also for 7x7, because the skills can be transferred to other events like 6x6, 5x5, or like 4x4, all those big cubes. But like for clock, you can't transfer those skills to any event. And like I know one person from Poland, he has like only clock on his profile.
Mm.
And it'll be a bit weird to like remove clock as his, but it's a bit weird to like remove clock and remove like his only event.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people that main clock and do not have like super good results in other
Mm.
events. And if you just remove that from them, they're SUA or Kinch or Calibrator all on the score. That's something used in SG might drop, or like their profile might look worse. And I don't think they have a good feeling about that because I guess they also main clock since
Yeah.
it's their best result, and like it'll be a bit demotivating. Like they might be a bit demotivated to like continue cubing after like losing their best results. And like some people like, yeah, I don't know if I should say out examples. It feels a bit like mean. Try.
I don't know
If
if
you
it's
want,
you.
if you want, you
Okay.
should, I guess.
I give you an example. Maybe like this guy called okay, wait. Maybe this guy called John, right? Like maybe he like only does clock and like some other events, but like his other events results are like not that notable. So if you, I need to think this through. Wait. So if you remove clock, right, he has like no other event to like get good at, supposedly. Like,
Because no transferable skills.
yeah, no transferable skills, and he just have to like start learning or grinding a new event as a whole. So that will be a bit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think your point about how for big blindness they can just do 4-blind if 5-blind gets removed. That's a really good point. Uh, yeah, I think I'll just add on by talking about how Clock has like so many more competitors than 5-blind actually, and I think Clock had over 22,000 people with a result compared to 5-blind's 1,000. I mean that can be justified by how 5-blind is inherently harder to solve in competition, but still Clock is popular. It is quite a popular WC event, and to remove it, will affect a lot of people, especially those that only main Clock, like what you said. So, as we know, the WC has been known for their controversial decisions before. We talked about the World's 2025 issue just now. Yeah, so Yitian and Jovan, what do you guys think that this controversial decision and the previous one says about the WCA board as a whole? And has this latest decision affected your confidence in any way in the board's ability to represent the interests of the cubing community?
For me, like as a competitor, I feel like the WCA doesn't really listen to its community, and I feel like we don't have a voice because for this clock removal thing, they actually gave a poll, like you said just now, about what events should get removed, and I'm pretty sure clock wasn't the most highly voted. So like, um, yeah, I think personally feel if that they were just going to remove clock anyways, then why give us the opportunity to vote? It's just giving us like false hope, you know, and like the people who made the decision about clock in first place, like all 131 of them, their official averages for clock is 14.50. So they don't really know much about clock.
Mm.
And I feel like for this decision, if they wanted to make it, they should have consulted the top clock solvers first and not just made this on their own. And I heard from one guy on Discord, I forgot his name. He said like the volunteers didn't really get a say in this. So like yeah, I just think that that's like super unfair. So yeah.
Mm.
Okay, some of my points are the same as Yitian's, but I also don't think we have a voice. And I think like top solvers should also have a say in this. Like maybe like the WCA board should like consult like maybe the top players like top 25 in the world, and maybe ask them about their opinions and whether they should do it or not. So like someone have a say. So yeah, yes.
Mm. Yeah. Jovan, what would you say to someone who supports the removal? Because there are people saying that I never liked clock anyway, or FTO deserves a spot more. So is there an argument that you can understand from their perspective, or do you just fundamentally disagree with removing any existing event to make room for another?
Okay, wait. So you ask what I would say to
To someone
someone
who
that
supports the removal.
so you ask two questions. You ask someone that doesn't support the removal and
And is there an argument you can understand from
yeah,
their perspective?
I'll start with the first question first
Mm.
because I'm not that familiar with the second one. So like okay, uh for the first question, which is what would I say to someone that supports the removal? Like I wouldn't like say anything to them, I guess, because I guess they have their own opinions. And there's a example in my friend group. Like this guy doesn't really like clock, and he goes around in Discord servers like saying what did he say? Wait, I got to clock is gone, yay! And then he also argues with like other people, like clock mains, like argue about other stuff. Like for me, I don't really support his views, but some people might support his views, and that's like totally fine.
Mm.
But like if I was defending clock, like in reality, I won't really defend this style of stuff because I don't think like worth my time. If I was defending clock, I would just tell them to like. I mean, if you don't like clock, then just don't say anything about it. Like it's none of your, it's not really like any of your business, and you shouldn't like rub like all those people that do not support the clock removal, like just don't rub on their faces like, oh, clock is removed.
Mm.
I think that's really rude. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think now what you said, like the top the top clockers, like they put in so much effort in it. It's also really, it's not very nice lah to rub it in their faces. And you guys also, as experienced clockers, also talk about how you guys were, maybe you guys first saw the news, you guys were pretty, angry about it because you know you guys have been practicing for so long, and the skills also cannot really be transferred, so it feels wasted. So let's now pivot to the future because the clock is literally ticking, pun intended, because we only have until 2027 World Championship before clock is gone forever. So Etienne, you are ranked top 100 in the world, and that represents a ton of dedication. So how are you gonna approach the next few months? Are you gonna all out to secure like the highest global rank possible? Maybe you get some local podiums in Singapore, or does this news make you want to put the puzzle down completely?
For me personally, I have like three goals left in clock I want to achieve. First, I want to get a low three average. Second, I want to get two more podiums, which makes three clock podiums in total. And I want to get flip Anna because
Mm.
for me, before I switched to seven Simon, I was averaging like 4.8 with flip. So like since now I know clock's gonna get removed, I can kind of waste my rounds. So like I guess I can try and go for flip mana. But definitely I first want to get the low
Mm.
3 average because that's what I've been wanting the whole time when I start the clock. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What about you, Jovan? Are you gonna try to continue this hot streak of 2 wins in the last 2 competitions for clock? Or yeah, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue practicing clock diligently as per normal, or focus on other events?
Okay, to be fair, like I wouldn't consider myself a clock main, but I've been performing like quite decently like my past few
Mm.
rounds, which I'm really happy for. But like clock as an event is just like something fun to practice, and right now I don't really have a main event because like I'm trying to all round get my profile cleaner. But still I will still practice clock like I normally do, and maybe like push for like a better result, like nearer to the removal of clock date. Because like I set some goals for clock, like a really good single and like maybe a low 3 average is like quite difficult and maybe like quite out of reach for me like currently. So yeah, it'll be, I think after those goals I might just stop practicing and like stop practicing as a whole and like just enjoy the last few days until the removal. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So actually, looking at the flip side, the FTO era actually begins on January 2, 2027, and the WC actually complained heavily on clocks logistical issues, like complex scrambling errors. So do you guys think that FTO is going to be smooth sailing for FTO at competitions? Or do you think FTO is going to run its own logistical nightmares? Yeah, maybe you'll start with Yitian.
For me, I don't think FTO will be very smooth sailing. Okay, firstly because it is a very new event, so like not a lot of people will know it. So not a lot of people will know how to scramble. And like let's say it's FTO finals, and like all the good FTO people are in finals, and like nobody will be able to scramble. So we'll have a lack of scramblers.
Mm,
But other than that, I think it'll be okay because overall, like you can still use the normal cube covers to um transport FTOs. So for me, I think it will be okay in the long run. But for the first few months, yeah, I think it will be kind of difficult. But like we'll get used to it. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a really valid take. Like, um, we have not added an event to the WC in 12 years since Cube. Uh, yeah, so I think all of us are very new to, the idea of having a new event. And like what you said, it might not be so smooth sailing at first. Yeah, so for both Etienne and Jovan, I'd like to pose one final question. Are you guys gonna start grinding FTO?
No,
No,
no.
Jovan.
I might start guiding FTO like maybe like in October, like after
Mm,
all my exams are
mm,
finished. Like I think FTO is like quite an interesting event and I would want to get a high ranking in the world before everyone gets good. So like
yeah, that's
that's
very
why,
fair.
yeah.
What about you, Kaylan? I want to FTO.
Well, I mean, you guys can see my channel. Like I do Mega Mix OH. Like I do have a knack for side events. I think, yeah, I'll definitely consider doing FTO. I mean, like why not? Uh, yeah, really cool side event. I've seen, like the top solving of FTO. Looks really fun. Yeah, I think I'll definitely give it a try. Yeah.
Wait, Etienne, why if you have a FTO line in the table, we should just like learn it something.
Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, like low key. And I probably just focus on like Pyraminx for me first. So yeah,
Or Pyraminx and clock.
yeah. But now clock's gone, so just Pyra left for
Yeah.
me. So
Xiaomi.
yeah.
So yeah, it is a bittersweet milestone for the cubing world. We got a puzzle we wanted, but we also lost a part of history to get it. Massive thank you to Jovan and Etienne for coming on and sharing your insights from the absolute top tier of the sport. Yeah. So to everybody watching, where do you stand? Would you have kept clock, or do you think it was worth sacrificing to finally get F2? Yeah, you guys can tell us in the comments below. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thanks Etienne and Jovan.
Thank you, Kaylan,
Right.
for inviting us.
Yeah.